Hello, my name is Kate and I'm gonna tell you about the only lady Death Knight in D&D. This is the first video of short Death Knight series, and if you haven't watched St.Kargoth, I suggest to start from it. Lady Lorana Kath, a noble from Nylax, a priestess of Hexter, a fighter member of Knight Protectors of Greyhawk, which was rare for women, and a follower of Kargoth, who betrayed her and turned her to a Death Knight. Lady Lorana is mentioned in early editions of D&D and can be met in Greyhawk universe in her castle, from which she wreaks destruction and terror. But how did she become like that? Let's figure it out. Lady Lorana Kath was born in noble family of House Nylax somewhere before 170 by Greyhawk timeline. She was a cruel, selfish kid who grew in a calculating and manipulative woman with a tyrannical views and ambitions. When the time had come, she was admitted to the Church of Hexter, the Orthian god of war, massacre and tyranny, and grew there in a capable cleric and fighter. During 185 to 189, she was sent to participate in battles, the period also known as Red Gnome clashes, and proved herself to be a very capable and skillful surgeon and healer on the battlefield, earning trust of the Knight Protectors of Greyhawk. They invited her to the Order, and it was very rare to become a knight for a woman, but also a great honor, so she accepted. Lorana sought glory with Knight Protectors, yet it was not enough for her. She knew that it would be impossible to get to the top with just being a capable healer, and desired to use every possible option to her advantage. In 196, she manipulated Overking to offer her to Prince Moranvik of House Atyr. The prince was an heir to the Herzogy of North Province, and the alliance would prove useful to the Overking, who wanted to unite different noble houses. Yet, Lorana was rejected by the prince. Ashamed but not broken, she refocused her attention on another subject of power, Kargoth of Mansbridge. It is said that she was always beside him, whispering sweet lies and also wild thoughts to his ears, pushing him to the dark side. She was hoping that when Kargoth would have been picked as a Knight Commander of Knight Protectors of Greyhawk in 202, she would become the First Lady. Yet, the council picked Sir Benedor. In 203, Lady Lorana Kath rode with Kargoth and other 12 loyal knights to the Temple of Lothan to get the Orb of Soul. She thought that it would help to defeat Sir Benedor and put Kargoth as a true commander instead, with her, Lorana, by his side. Yet, fate ruled it out differently. Kargoth betrayed everyone that night, sacrificing all 13 and himself to Demogorgon to be raised again as a Death Knight. Unlike Kargoth, Lady Lorana didn't have any interest in following the Demon Prince's will. She still considered herself a priest of Hexter in the first place. So she fled the temple and traveled to the North Provinces to her lands, where she started to plot against the person who hurt her. It is known that Lorana was very obsessed with her beauty and the idea of getting married. When she turned to a Death Knight, she saw that withering flesh was dripping from her bones, and she went insane. So much she wanted to preserve her beauty, and to prove herself that she is still a capable fair bride, that she wore a bridal veil, and also started to rip the faces of young maidens and wear them at the mask until those rot away. How dark and insane was lore of D&D back then, guys. This is just crazy. But actually, I kinda love it. The time passed, and in 20 years from the transformation, in 223, Herzog Moranvik died under unknown circumstances, and the House Atyr almost disappeared, giving House Nylax full control of the lands. For her deeds, Lorana was accepted back to the family and was given a castle of Stringen, from which she ruled and conducted many wild necromantic experiments on the living. The result of her research was creation of Animus in 583, an undead husk and a capable servant fighter. Through the following years, Lady Lorana Kath resided in her castle, creating more and more Animuses, seeking the right formula to undo the Death Knight's curse. However, that was not to be ever achieved. Is she a strong character? From the lore perspective, she is a capable cleric or hexter, a capable fighter and a Death Knight with lots of undead husk lurking around her, so yeah, she is quite a threatening foe. From a technical perspective, she is a monster with challenge rating 90, with more than 100 HP, with 8th level cleric spells and a Hellfire Orb. She is still not that threatening as famous Death Knights, but can be a very good boss fight. And now a bit of DM tips on how to play her. She likes to slowly torture people, so acid, poisons, traps and damage over time are your best friends. While in battle, she summoned her loyal steed, a nightmare steed, and also will probably summon Animuses to help her in melee combat, while she will raid down opponents with spells. As she is obsessed with her beauty, I would definitely focus high charisma characters or female characters, and also will add some mechanics to the battle around showing her rotten flesh in the mirror. And that's the short story of Lady Lorana Kath, the woman Death Knight. And nothing is said about her future, so she probably exists somewhere in Greyhawk waiting in her castle to be introduced in your campaign. This was another video on short Death Knight series, and if you like the lore, please press like and subscribe button and tell me in the comments below who else you would like to hear about. And see you next time.